Hey everyone, it's Rose the Gamer. Welcome back to episode 17 of the Metal Gear Solid 2 playthrough. And trying a different setup today. I'm using a live recording, but I'm just recording with the same editing software while using my headset. So we're going to see how well the audio sounds on this. This Turtle Beach headset is really nice, so I want to try to use it as much as I can. But it's been a long week for me. I've had the last, including today, the last 5 days off from my one job because I took 3 days off to get my Jeep repaired, which came in under the $1,000 I set aside for it, which is nice. Not by much, but it's still less. But we're just picking up some dog tags from guards here. It's easy as long as you can get the distractions right and kind of move them out of the way of other guards, but you can still get their attention. If that makes sense. Some pornography on top of the lock. It's no other way to say it. It's, a magazine with women in bikinis. It's good stuff. So you want to try to draw him out. 2 hits, and then he'll be suspicious of the guard that fell. And you can't hold him up here if you take out these other 2 guards first. And then you just have this guy back here. And he's easy when he's kind of stuck by himself over there. So. Yeah, the bird talking. Yeah, I guess I'll get the map for this area, even though I'm never coming back here in gameplay. It's a one and done area. There's the B mic that we needed to get here. We can go to the first floor now, where I actually get to advance the purpose for coming into the shell core, rescue the president's men and whatnot. I've been playing Metal Gear Solid 4 for the first time, which is, as a big fan of the series, it might be strange that I've not played it yet, considering how long it's been out, but I never had a PS3, so I got PS Now. I paid for that I forget if I've already talked about this, but I'll just bring it up anyway. I paid for that for a year. Basically the cost of one new game, $65 for a year. Same as PlayStation Online. I've been playing through that, and I've got maybe 2/3 of the way done. Maybe. I'm back at Shadow Moses, where I have to fight the bosses in that game are interesting. I have to fight one of the beauties, the wolf one, the wolf in it. Octopus and Raven weren't too bad, but there's Wolf and then there's Mantis yet, and some other bosses in between, including fighting one of the Metal Gear Ray from this game with Rex from 1. It's kind of you can tell it's the finale game of the series, and there are other installments, but that's the send-off it deserves. Have the 2 best Metal Gears arguably fight each other. I really like Ray's design, and Rex is just iconic. But I had off my one job while the Jeep was getting inspected, and then my mom was able to drive me to work my 4-hour shifts at security for those days, and that was good. I ended up spending a little bit more money than I wanted to, because I also paid her some money I owed her. I'll pay her more when I get paid again, but I also have 6-day weeks every other week at work setup. So I'll be making a little bit more money anyway. And hopefully your security hours stay consistent. Um, I'm sure I've mentioned in a commentary before that I do on call now as well, which is like I just come in when I'm asked to. If they have too many staff, that's to afford me still the ability to get hours. But as it is now, I have my regular 3 days going on, so I like that. All right, so basically, I just talked over getting all the dog tags there. You can kind of see how to do that all yourself. But what you got to do is grab this guy, pull him over, and let him scan you in with his eyes, basically. You could do this with any of the three guards, but one of them you kind of take out right there. So he just seems to be the one that I always go for. And we have some big story dumping coming here, so be prepared for that. Just that input. That's the max volume. Just keep that right there. I feel like we'll see how that works. And if I don't like the levels with this recording, I'll go back to my more guerrilla style method. I'm not sure why Movie Maker, which is the easiest, most streamlined. Well, it's not the best program, but it's the most streamlined where I can just open the file, record narration, and it publishes it, and I can do other stuff in the background. I'm not sure why with Windows 10 it seems it's become so unwieldy, or issues just popped up like that I never had before, of like audio cutouts and I know it's a shit program, This is why I have other ones that I use as well. That's still picking up. I have something on my TV as well. Getting caught up on the jingle. Getting caught up on something, but so what's happening in the world? My Penguins were eliminated from Stanley Cup contention. The Pittsburgh Penguins. They have won with this core of players that they've kept. They have won 3 cups, which is great. I mean, no one, if that's your legacy, like whatever sport you watch, if that's your legacy, it's like winning 3 championships with a team while you're playing. That's nothing to be ashamed of. But I think they have one more year, this next year, to see if the window of, championship contender is still open. That's their last chance. After that, I'd say, and anyone who knows sports would know it's time. You got to do your rebuilding at some point. You can't have the same old farts try to be your highest played champion players forever. Anyway, this is Ames. Sorry, it's not much fun to listen around. Fortunately, I know where he is most of the time. I check that one corner. But yes, Ocelot is very much aware of what's going on right now, which kind of gives you a little foreshadowing about him, I suppose. It's one thing you'll learn if you're a fan of this series or if you're watching through. Ocelot is easily way more in control of the situation than it first appears to be. Hmm. So Ames is kind of filling us in on what's going on. Sorry, I was just checking some notifications on my work phone. Um, yeah, the president's hooked in to the nano network. His vitals basically transmitting the ability for a nuclear launch to occur, which is an interesting thought to attach the highest level weapon clearances to someone's life signs. I don't think it's a bad idea. I mean, it pretty much negates any hostage opportunity. Like, give us that. Well, you know what? That might actually be in response to Shadow Moses, because in that incident, the terrorists of Foxhound and Yanukovych's Russian soldiers were, well, they would have been involved. They were asking for the remains of Big Boss, or the man they thought was Big Boss. But that's something we'll get to in Metal Gear Solid 5. Um, I still think the story makes sense. There are some plot holes that are unanswered, but it's just because Kojima wanted to end it with this game. And it has a very look to the future type ending to it too. Like, as we see when we get to it. So I kind of see what the postmodernist view that he's going for. This game is postmodern art, honestly, because it's, well, you really have to take it in for yourself to appreciate it. To be honest with you, me describing it doesn't do it justice. But listen in here. Oh, Johnny, it's not the conversation I want to do. I'll be quiet in case you can see, hear the other conversation in its place. Oh, Johnny, would you believe that this guy ends up being the one with Meryl, the Metal Gear Solid one? Because he does. I don't know if that was a subtle fuck you to certain fans from Kojima or not, the way he wrote it, but it makes sense. Snake is. Let me explain. Snake was never going to have a. There's no way for this man to have a happy, right off into the sunset kind of moment. I mean, the best is yet to come is a wonderful. Metal Gear Solid 1's ending might be my favorite game ending ever, to be honest with you, because the best is yet to come is such a great song. And, him leaving with Meryl on the snow mobile is great. I almost said snow speeder, too much Star Wars. Uh, the scene with Otacon, that version is good too. Just the idea of living life just to live life is a wonderful sentiment. Here, yeah, they're arguing too. As I was saying, living life just to live life is a wonderful sentiment. Like, don't live it on the It's interesting coming from Naomi. Don't live it on the prospects of revenge or living on someone else's terms. Live on your own terms. And then that wonderful song. But that isn't a choice for someone who's an engineered soldier like Snake. You know, it's never. I'm ignoring this conversation here, but I should mention it's very interesting the dynamic between Olga and Ocelot. I do honestly believe, though it's never shown, that Olga. Well, I know she. It's kind of apparent in some of the scenes on the tanker. Part of the story that some of the Russians don't trust Ocelot, or even Sergei didn't. I'm not sure. I mean, his betrayal does kind of occur out of the blue, but you have to think some people are smarter than all that. Yeah, there's something going on. Exactly. Oh, he's talking about liquid arm. Which that has an interesting story conclusion too. It's kind of believable. Yeah, it turns out the man we pegged for a villain this whole time wasn't ever really trying to be a villain. He was just trying to go about achieving Big Boss's objectives in his own way. Which, that's the great line from Final Fantasy VIII, where it's like, there's no right and wrong. We're just soldiers on opposite sides of the battlefield. It's true. Yeah, anyway, what did you hear? I was talking over you. I promise everything that was said in that conversation, if my voice found that out, isn't. Oh, my AC shut off. Maybe I won't have that awful background noise for a while. Sorry, it's trying to make a compromise between that noise and not being too hot. So it's not bad most of the time. The Emma field. Oh, another EE reference. This game's full of them. She's a character coming up if you're not familiar. The sister of a man we are familiar with. Another tech head. Sons of Liberty. All right, we'll see what happens next time.